morning. My name is Sabrina. I am originally from Austria. I was born and raised in the west part of Austria, which is called Tyrol. So we got many huge, amazing mountains. So it's a really nice area. But 2011, I decided to go to more like the capital of Austria, which was Vienna. I always lived there 9 years. And since January, I'm in lovely Dublin, so the Silicon Valley in Europe, and it's really amazing there. I'm working for a tech company, so I'm kind of a sales development representative, and now we join another tech company on Monday, and there I do renewals. Before I was moving to Ireland, I got kind of a headhunter, which was called Sue from CPL, and she mentioned they were really looking for German speakers. I applied in Austria when I was settled in Austria. It was in November. I got the contract in December, and I moved here to Ireland on the 2nd of January, and I started my job on the 6th of January.
My name is Katya. I'm 30 years old. I was born in Russia. I moved to Denmark and lived there my whole life. I came here for work, and I currently work at Facebook as a market specialist. Before Facebook, I worked at Google for 3 years, where I was an online specialist, and then I worked at various places in doing marketing. I started working for Google in Poland, but I decided to transfer to Ireland. The Northern European lifestyle and culture, better wages than Poland. Those three things together. I grew up in Denmark, so culturally Ireland felt closer to me than Poland did. And the English language was appealing, that everybody speaks English here. I could see a future here.
So I started the bachelor program at IMC FA in Lower Austria 2014 until 2017. And 2015 we went there on a block week to Dublin, which was really amazing because we went to the Trinity College, we went to the DIT University, we also saw Google for the first time, and then I felt so in love with the city and with all this technical flair they got, because I think it's really a hub for all the IT companies. And once I say to myself, Sabrina, when you are finishing with your studies, and so I will go to Dublin to have a real nice expat life, and I really enjoy to be part in this multicultural hotspot here.
I was just finishing at university, and my major was English studies, so it wasn't directly related to Google. But in next to university, I'd been doing some other jobs, which included communications and technology. So I met up with an old friend of mine. She said, "Oh, Google's looking for new employees at the moment," and I happened to find a job that fit my qualifications, speaking several languages. And after a long interview process, I got in. I think it was hard work, but there was really good camaraderie, friendship within the team. I was on in Poland. It was fantastic in that way. Got to know some really smart, interesting people, and it was a very fast-paced lifestyle in general. You're expected to do a lot and to do it well. But at the same time, you get all these opportunities to travel and experience new things. So you're busy all the time, but in a good way and sometimes a stressful way. But it was interesting. Yeah, you get to see how things are done within a company that everybody uses and everybody knows. So yeah, learned a lot. It was a different kind of job, and generally the office in Poland was a lot smaller, so it was more intimate, and you could know people, people were closer with each other, I think, in Poland. In Ireland, because it's the headquarters, there are so many employees, you can really feel that you're in this huge enterprise. So there was a bit of a difference in vibe, a difference in atmosphere. Besides that, I mean, sure, there are plenty of differences, but it had more to do with the job itself and less to do with moving countries.
I think there are many other facilities as well. For example, if you say, I think you can also study at Trinity College, if you say you're very interested into law, there are many court of justice, and you can also start a politician career there. I think also the tourism industry, when it's not the coronavirus there, is very attractive as well. So become a tour guide or a tour operator, it's very nice to do so because there are many sites. For example, I have been to Cork 8 hours ago. It was really nice to do so, and it was a great tour created by Get Your Guide. So I can really recommend that to be diverse and flexible as well, yes.
Use LinkedIn and use your friends. Most jobs are found through networking. It's really, really difficult to get into a workplace without anybody knowing you. So, you know, have a decent LinkedIn profile. Turn on your job seekers, you know, that you're looking. Respond to recruiters. They're going to reach out to you probably. And, you know, ask your friends. Tell your friends you're looking for a job. Just like say, hey, if anybody knows anything, you know, use your network.
I think it's exhausting, to be honest. I think it's very exhausting, and of course you get frustrated as well. So in my opinion, it's if you really want to do it, and I think you should give it a try to do that. Even if you tried it for a longer time, you should keep on trying. And I would recommend you to really do networking. For example, if you know, let's say if you're a student and you graduated 1 or 2 years ago and you knew a colleague who is working, let's say Google or let's say in another company in Ireland, keep in touch with them and ask if they can do kind of refer you in their company, or if they have any chance to know like if there is a similar company who is currently looking for people. So pay attention also to your CV. So for example, in my opinion, in Austria, we got CVs. It depends on your career development. It can be 3 pages, it can 6 pages, it can even longer than 6 pages. Here in Ireland, I was told, Sabrina, you need to cut down your CV first. 2 pages maximum. Choose a picture what you like. You're also allowed to do not choose any pictures, so you can choose whatever you want to concerning your picture. And I choose, I would definitely want to have a picture. And it was a little bit challenging to cut down my CV into 2 pages, but I think a really attractive CV is really, and let's say a nice access pass or badge to push your career as well, because I think it makes keeping you more attractive to the headhunters or recruiters, and there are many recruiters in Ireland that I can also recommend. If you are on LinkedIn looking for recruiters as well, so headhunters I can name something like Sigma Karen is really nice, Darren from Origin is really doing a great job, also Sue from CPL, she's a senior recruiter, she's really good. So these are, I would say, are the 3 major ones. Also, how was she called? I think it was Jennifer from McKinsey. Yeah, these are some nice companies that they are really looking for fluent EMEA or DACH or kind of every market to have their footprint on it. So it's very nice to do socializing and interacting with this network experience. So with the headhunters, yes.
The things I like is, first of all, the beautiful nature. I just love the nature here. I love the people. I made, I think, the best friends of my life here in this country. And I love, I really like the culture. I don't know, it resonates with me. I think it's interesting, and I sort of, I think it's so recent as well that people remember their history, and it gives people depth, it gives people a lot to think about. And I like that there's lots of opportunities here for work as well. There are lots of companies based around here. So I dislike the winters here. I think they're really dreary, and the weather is just horrible in the winter. It's hard to get through. I dislike the difference in income for people, disparity. I think there are people here who are really struggling and they shouldn't be. I dislike that there are so many homeless, and I dislike that there are so many areas in the city that are falling apart and nobody's fixing it. And so on that note, I dislike that the politics here don't fix that kind of behavior, but almost encourage it, where there's interest groups lobbying for their own interests instead of working together for, you know, a better experience for everybody. I don't like that sort of politics is encouraged here. And I dislike the traffic. I think it's just crazy. Compared to Denmark is extremely organized with its traffic, and everybody rides a bike in Copenhagen, and it's very regulated. If you crossed on a red light, you would probably get a fine for 100 euros. So everybody does, you know, exactly what they're supposed to. So it feels safer. And generally speaking, I mean, of course, there are people, low income people in Denmark as well, but generally speaking, it's a wealthier, more prosperous country. So I feel like life is, and it's more regulated. Everybody who works in Denmark, or most people who work in Denmark, are part of a union or somebody who gives them support. Everybody has free healthcare. Legally, everybody only works 40 hours a week. I mean, it's a very organized, prosperous lifestyle. Ireland specifically, I think my biggest culture shock was related to how recent the troubles are for a lot of people and how much it still affects them and their families. People still remember from their previous generation, from their parents, how they smuggled weapons over the border, you know, how they fought with each other, hated each other, how people suffered from that. And that's so recent. It's only, you know, like 30 years ago. And the Catholicism, that's still very, very recent here as well, how divorce was only allowed in 1996, 97. And I mean, these things are facts that don't really seem to affect your life until you know Irish people personally, because it can be quite a culture shock to discover, you know, how much these things still affect people and how much people still think about them, and how much the culture here is still very sort of built around 80s and 90s pop culture as well. That was quite shocking, because it's all these things that I used to watch as a child that I've completely forgotten about that are super popular here. If they want to visit, I'd say see the nature as much as possible. Spend 2 days in Dublin, that's enough. And then go see, you know, south of Dublin, go see Wicklow, go see, as far as you can drive, go to Clare and, you know, all those places with the nature. It's beautiful. And if they want to live here, I would say, you know, have a plan. Be careful, because you need a good job to really prosper here. It might take a while to get established here, get the right job, but there are so many opportunities here. You just have to watch out for the right one.